One of the newer tools in the Icon tool line that I personally was the most excited about coming out was the screwdriver set. A few months ago, I did a video where I showed me getting this Icon screwdriver set along with a bunch of other Icon tools. So I do have quite a few Icon videos coming up. I've just been falling behind. I have a lot of other videos coming out too, but we're gonna start getting to these Icon tools. So if you're interested in that, my name is Brian, and on this channel, I do tool reviews, projects, tips, tricks, and more. So think about subscribing, hit the bell if you want to get notified whenever I go live or upload a video, because YouTube doesn't notify you all the time whenever I upload a video. And if you're already subscribed, go ahead and hit the bell so you can get notified too. But back when I first started doing this channel, I did do a screwdriver video where I had just a whole bunch of screwdrivers, and I do still have some of those screwdrivers here. The Quinn set that I used in that video, I don't even have anymore. I think I gave those away. Those just were not, they're not for me. I just didn't think they was very good screwdrivers, to be honest with you. They were just too lightweight in the handle. They just seemed really cheap. And when it comes to screwdrivers, and with anything for that matter, it's all gonna come down to a personal preference about what feels good in your hand. Some guys like a smaller fit in their hand. Me personally, I have a bigger hand, so I like a bigger screwdriver. I like a heavier screwdriver that is balanced well in my hand, but I also like a good quality screwdriver, because if you're like me, then you probably don't just use these for screwdrivers. You use them for pry bars, punches, chisels, everything else in the world. A good screwdriver set is pretty important for any mechanic or anybody for that matter. But I do have the snap-on screwdriver set. We're gonna take a look at that compared to this, because as a lot of you know, the Icon tool lines came out and they've pretty much tried to mimic Snap-on. I mean, down to the looks of everything, it's just straight Snap-on clone with the Icon name on it. I also have a Gearwrench set that I really like, that I really recommend for beginner mechanics, and also for any mechanic for that matter. I feel like it's a really good set. I've had this set for a while. I think it's like about $65 for a 20-piece set. It comes with precision screwdrivers, Phillips head, straight head, even comes with a couple torque screwdrivers. So it is a pretty complete set, and for $65, I feel like you can't beat it. The quality is there. I have beat these up quite a bit, and I haven't broke any, but I have bent some of the tips. But you got to expect that when you're not using them for what you're supposed to be using them for. I also have the WIHA set that I got. I'm not a big fan of the WIHA set. I think that they're good, well-made screwdrivers, but the handle, like I said, I like them fat, but the handle on that is just too fat for me, and it's too round. There's no comfort in it when I'm gripping it. The ergonomics of the screwdriver to me is one of the most important things, like I said. So that handle just doesn't do it for me. What I do like about it is it has the striking caps on it, similar to the Doyle set. I also have a couple Doyle screwdrivers. It's not a whole set. I bought this in a 2-pack. These are construction screwdrivers or demolition screwdrivers where they have the striking cap because they're meant for you to beat on. So I do like that. And they do have their place because of that striking cap. I also like some of the other features that's on it that the screwdrivers, the Icon screwdrivers and the Snap-on screwdrivers has, and also a few of the Gearwrench has, which is the driving nuts that are on the end of the shaft, that right where it connects into the handle, you'll see a little nut, and that's meant for you to be able to get a wrench on to give you a little bit of extra torque if you need it. And I also did a video about these old Craftsman made in the USA screwdrivers, and I showed where you could slide a wrench over the handle, which was able to give you some extra torque. In that video, I said they were designed that way. I don't know if they're designed that way or not. I just know it works. So, and I knew that a lot of people didn't know, even though some of the guys on there claimed that everybody knew. Quite a lot of people did not know about that, and I thought it was a pretty interesting video, so I did it. But those screwdrivers, they're not that comfortable to me. I don't like them. I've never used them. I don't feel like they're good screwdrivers at all, but some guys really like them. So like I said, man, it's all gonna depend on you. Now, I have really found myself, the Snap-on screwdrivers are my favorite screwdrivers, and I feel like they're the most comfortable screwdrivers in my hand. I also feel like they're the best made screwdrivers that I've ever used. But I found myself, when I'm reaching for a screwdriver, 9 times out of 10, I'm grabbing the Gearwrench screwdriver set. And I don't know, they're not as comfortable to me as a Snap-on, but for some reason I just find myself going for them. And it may have something to do with the fact that these Snap-on screwdrivers, I paid $150 for 8 screwdrivers, whereas I paid $65 for 20 screwdrivers. So I kind of feel like I don't want to mess these screwdrivers up, and I try to preserve them a little bit. But Another good thing about that is that I make sure, dang sure, that I have that screwdriver back in my box at the end of the day or every time I get done using it because they're so expensive. The price of the Icon screwdrivers are $49.99 and I got them with a 20% off coupon, so $40 for 8 screwdrivers. That's $5 a screwdriver. That's not that expensive to me, not for a good quality screwdriver, if in fact they are a good quality screwdriver, which I'm gonna just go ahead and let the cat out of the bag. I have been using these a little bit since I've had them, and I do like them. I think they are really similar to the Snap-on screwdriver as far as feel goes, but we'll talk about a couple of the differences in a second. Now, some guys, they may think that $5 a screwdriver is too much or $40 for a set is too much, but when you're used to paying $150 for a set, $40 for a set is nothing. I've seen a couple videos where guys have said like they wouldn't pay, you know, $20 for a set of screwdrivers, that they didn't think they was even worth $20 and that they were too expensive. $20 for like a set of 10 screwdrivers is $2 a screwdriver. That's pretty cheap if you ask me. That's the price range the Quinn was in. But like I said, each person's gonna have their own opinion. I've seen guys tell me they don't like the Snap-on screwdrivers, and like I said, to me, they just feel like the best screwdrivers. The reason that I like the Snap-on screwdrivers, like I said before, was the handle. The handle does feel great in my hand, but it's how good they're balanced. If you take a screwdriver and you try to balance it on your hand like this, depending on the screwdriver, you should be able to balance it somewhere close to where the handle and the shaft meet. And you can see here that I'm able to balance this so it sits down really good in my hand. It has some weight to it. When I talked about the Quinn screwdrivers, how the handles were so light, I couldn't even get those to balance in my hand when I was doing the video before. And the problem with that is that when you're reaching down, if you're under a car or under a hood going down in a car and you've got this screwdriver in your hand, you don't want to, sometimes you might have to open your hand for a second to try to maneuver around something, and you don't want to have a screwdriver that's so heavy in the front where the handle's not heavy that as soon as you open your hand, it just falls out. I just made that do that. But with the Snap-on screwdriver, you do have a little bit of wiggle room to be able to hold that screwdriver because it has the weight in the back that sets down firmly in your hand and it feels more comfortable. The Icon screwdrivers are the same way. They have a good weight in the handle, and I can do the same thing. I can balance those close to where the shaft meets the handle, and they'll stay balanced in my hand. So they stay nice and planted in my hand. They have good weight to them. The handles feel like that they're well made. One of the differences that I spoke of before between these and those is, while they may look like a carbon copy, I mean, even down to the indentation where the shaft and the handle meet, but the Icon screwdrivers do have some grip that they put down here, which I really do like because I feel like that it allows me to be able to get more torque on something when I'm using it. Whereas the Snap-on, it does not have any type of grip there. So when you're using it, it may slip in your hand. However, when I say it doesn't have grip there, it still does have grip around the handle right here. So these tend not to slip in your hand, but when you're working on a car, especially if you use rubber gloves and your hands are getting greasy, then tools will slip out of your hands. So that's when knurling and grip is really important. So the grip on this, I feel like these probably do have maybe a little bit better grip than the Snap-on as far as secure goes whenever my hands are slippery or whenever I'm getting some torque on a screw or whatever. I feel like that these do have a little bit better grip than the Snap-on. Both the Snap-on and these do feature the driving nut like I was talking about earlier. So I do like the fact that they have the driving nut. They also both feature the marking of what the screwdriver is on the top of the handle, which I do like. But if you're using these in this case, you really don't need that because you can look down and quickly see what screwdriver you got. But when this comes in handy is if you have your screwdrivers setting straight up like this and you have to keep reaching down trying to grab the one you want. With these being marked, you can just quickly identify which one's flat, which one's a Phillips head, and you'll be able to grab the one you need without having to pull every screwdriver out. Because I don't know about you, but with me, if I need something, I'm grabbing everything else but that and then I'll eventually grab what I need. But that's just my luck when I'm trying, like if I'm in the house, I'm trying to get a spoon and I'm reaching in some stuff, I'm grabbing 20 forks before I get to the one spoon. And that goes with anything, tools or anything. But these handles also, they don't feel like hard plastic. They have a little bit of give to them. If you squeeze on the back right here, there is a little bit of give, which is a good thing because the hard, cheap plastic screwdrivers that don't even have any type of give whenever you're clenching down. If you squeeze on a screwdriver and it's a cheap plastic screwdriver compared to a good screwdriver, you can feel a big difference. Another feature that the Icon screwdrivers have that the snap-on screwdrivers do not have and may or may not be a big deal to you is the tips on these are magnetic. Now, the reason I say that may or may not be a big deal to you because any screwdriver can be magnetic if you just buy a magnetizer and demagnetizer, and you can buy one for pretty cheap on Amazon. Me personally, I do like the fact that these tips are magnetic. The Gearwrench screwdrivers are magnetic. And the magnet on the Gearwrench screwdrivers are really strong. As you can see, it can pick up this 5/16 Icon wrench without any problem. So I checked the Icon screwdriver and it can do the same thing. So the magnets on them are pretty strong. Is that a humongous deal? It's probably not a humongous deal, but I do like the fact that they are magnetized, and I do like the fact that the magnets will be able to hold a screw if I put a screw on, because that's the whole point of the magnets on these. Not only can you maybe stick it down in the engine bay or something to get a little bolt or nut out that you drop to try to, if you can't get anything else in there, but the fact that you could stick a screw on the end of this, and if you have to snake your arm up in somewhere, the screw won't fall off. So like I said, any screwdriver can be magnetic, but it is nice that they are magnetic straight out of the box. And I think that may be one of the reasons why I'm probably reaching for the Gearwrench more than I am for Snap-on, to be honest. Now, these Icon screwdrivers, this may be, when I said it had some negatives, this may be a negative. And I'll tell you, they claim that these screwdrivers are made out of S2 steel. The Snap-on screwdrivers, I couldn't find what they was made out of, but they say the tips are a special alloy mix. The tips on the Icon screwdrivers, they just say that they're machined down. So I imagine it's the same steel all the way through. They just give it some sort of texture while they're machining it down to the size they need it to. When it comes to like the Gearwrench, they say that they have black oxide tips, and also the Snap-on says that that the tips are diamond tips. So the diamond tips will give you a lot of extra grip whenever you're putting the screw down into the Phillips head or straight head screw. It will give you a lot of extra grip so that screw doesn't strip, because that's a big thing if you're trying to take any screws out, especially like if it's a rusty screw. If you strip a screw, you're going to be pretty much using an extractor set to try to drill it out, because there's not going to be too much you can do once you strip the head out of a screw. So the fit of the tip into the fastener is really important. Now, why I say that S2 can be a negative. S2 steel is a harder steel than chrome vanadium. Chrome vanadium is more ductile than S2. So if you're like me, and I know majority of you guys are like me, and these are your screwdrivers, chisels, and pry bars and punches, then using that S2 steel, with it being a harder steel, that will probably be a bad idea with these, because they're going to break. They're going to be more brittle, and they're going to break when you're using them for things like that, versus using the chrome vanadium. If you have these in there and you're trying to use them to pry something up or pry around, then it may break quicker than the chrome vanadium that would have more give. And like I said before about the Gearwrench having the bent tips, my Snap-on screwdrivers also have bent tips. So in theory, then the S2 steel would not bend as easy as the chrome vanadium. So that may be a negative for you. But other than that, I don't see much difference in them. The Snap-on case is a lot nicer than this case, if that matters to you, but this case is also a lot nicer than this Gearwrench case, if that matters to you as well. The Gearwrench case is a lot flimsier than this case. But other than that, like I say, these things, I feel like that they are pretty well-made screwdrivers, and what I've used of them, I feel like that this is probably one of the better Icon tools that they sell at Harbor Freight when you consider all things as far as the quality of it and the price at $50 or $40 for these. This is definitely a must-buy, in my opinion. Even if you already have a go-to screwdriver, this would be a great backup set, especially considering the fact that you can go return it at the store, because these do come with a lifetime warranty, and it says, just like with the other Icon tools, lifetime warranty for the life of the tool. But I had an experience where they did not honor that for the lifetime of the tool warranty. They wanted to check and see if I purchased it. I did get it warranted, but like I said to them, I thought that it was the tool, so you could just bring it in, because when I bring a Pittsburgh ratchet in to warranty it, they don't run my name to check or my number to check and see if I bought it. They just give me the Pittsburgh screwdriver or ratchet. There is no questions asked, but with the Icon, they did ask. So I don't know if that was just like a one-time thing or what, but Lifetime warranty on these. I feel like that they probably are on par with these Snap-on screwdrivers. And like I said, these are my favorites. Would I use these over the Snap-on? If I didn't already own the Snap-on and I was going out to buy a set of screwdrivers and I was looking to buy a good set of screwdrivers, then yeah, I would pick these over the Snap-on just simply because of the warranty and the price at $40. This set here is 3 times the price of this. Plus, I think I paid $165 for this set, $40 for this set. So the choice is yours, and like I said, every person has their own opinions about what feels good to them, and what feels good to me might not feel good to you. So if you want my suggestion, before you decide what you want to buy, try to see if you can get your hands on something that you want to buy before you take that leap. But you could also return it if you don't like it. So the choice is completely up to you, but I definitely give these a grade A. And like I said, one of the better tools at Harbor Freight, in my opinion. But that's going to be it on this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, share the video to your social media platforms. It does help me out. And check down below. I do list some tools down below that I like on Amazon. They are affiliate links, and I do get a little small commission if you make a purchase through them, but it goes to help the channel. Doesn't cost you anything, so it is appreciated. Till next time, stay real.